Hey everybody, welcome to the presentation, Where Did the Money Go? Our Profit GPS, where once you know where every dollar goes, it's a business that will start to pay you. Gratitude is the first key of success. Showing up is half the battle. I like to thank you for showing up. I'd like to thank Bill Walsh and the Power team for putting on this amazing event, the event staff for putting together, and for you for showing up because showing up is half the battle. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Now, I like to take a little survey so I can gauge how to set up my talk, who's here. Raise your hand if you're just a newbie startup under a year. Okay. Raise your hand if you're between 1 and 5 years in business. And if you're six plus, raise your hand. That's perfect. So now I know, so now I know how I'm going to gauge my talk. Would it be okay if I tell you my story? You've ever had a moment in life that changed everything? Well, mine happened on August in 1984. I was working in my parents' business until my mom said, Albert, yeah, mom, you owe the IRS. I go, what's that? You see, at that point, I was very financially illiterate. I was a Lebanese guy that always got paid cash. So I didn't know anything, no checkbooks, no checkbook, balancing the book, bank statements. I didn't know anything. But that put me on a mission to start to understand and to start helping other people. That was 41 years ago. And we started, that's why today we have CFO in a box because I've been helping over 50,000 business owners from every size of business, from startups to mid-size. And we worked with almost every kind of business you can think of because we want to make sure that somebody has your back. We want to make sure that you have somebody to answer your questions and to start having money in your pocket. Today, we're looking for at least 5 business owners who want to join our CFO in a Box class, and the cost is $1,500. So, Bill asked me for some ways that I can show you some tips I've been explaining to our clients for the last 4 decades. So, here's some of the newest ones that came up with. So my first one is an American Express savings account. This is something that I stumbled on. So what's cool about this account is it's paying 3%. And the best part about it is there's no minimum to put in there and there's no time limit. So what does that mean? Like most CDs and most time deposits, they always have a minimum and they can only keep us so long. This one, as of today, you can take money in and out. Another thing is, Raves had a review, it's a business journal, said that over 37% of software is never used. So raise your hand if you ever had a trial, did an app or, after a year you forgot to turn it off and you got dinged. See, the unused software is going to be could cost you a lot of money. The survey said that each device costs you over $259. Now, you can start doing the math. Most of us have like 2 devices, a cell phone, and a desktop laptop. So that's costing you over $500 of wasted money. And all you got to do to really stop this is go get a Google Sheets and list everything that you pay monthly on and the dates. So if you're not going to think you're going to go not use it anymore, just go shut off the auto pay. Now, has this ever happened to you? Sales are coming in, sales are coming in, and you looked at your bank statement and you go, oh blank, where did the money go? See, you know you made a profit, but you don't know where the money's going. Truist Bank said that 71% of business owners don't understand cash flow. Well, this is how it's killing your business. Let's give taxes a great example. So if you know your numbers, QuickBooks says that over 33% of business owners do zero bookkeeping. That's right, zero bookkeeping because you don't know your numbers. So if you know your numbers, you did a profit and loss and you saw how much you made you know how much you're making. Now let's say this is July in the middle of the year. You should be doing this about 4 times a year. So you know how much money you're making. Somebody had figured out that this is what you're going to go to IRS. So maybe you need to start putting money away to pay the IRS. But if you know how much you're going to owe the IRS, is maybe if we start like investing in the business, investing in ourselves for the business, you can start to lower down the tax bill so that you're not going to get freaked out when the bill comes in because you understand this. And once you know the numbers, good things will happen. So, how would you like some simple systems that you can put money in your pocket like almost instantly? That's right. These are the same ones. I have 8 systems you can use. We've been giving to my clients for 50, we've been giving to my 50,000 business clients over the last 42 years. These are 8 ways you can put money in your pocket instantly, and our 52-week email that's going to give you tips that will help you put money in your pocket almost immediately. So all you got to do is text profits, that's PROFITS to 26786. That's profits to 26786. Now, this is my why. These are my kids. In the picture, they took me to a Marlins game for my 66th birthday because in reality, business is not about making money. Okay, it's about building a business and having more freedom and time with your family. So you see, so you got to understand your profits. You have to understand cash flow because if you don't understand cash flow, bad things can happen because now you're not going to have the money put away to go and do cool things with your family. You're going to also start, if you don't start understanding money and your numbers, you're going to start getting stressed out. So I don't know about you, but raise your hand if you have any grandkids. Well, I now have 2, Mia and Lucas. But the cutest thing my son told my granddaughter to say is she knows how to say, Grandpa, did you make money today so you can go buy me a K-pop? Because once we understand our numbers, all right, and got our piggy banks together, good things are going to start to happen. What would your life be like if you had more money in your pocket? Let's say if you could have $3,000 to $5,000 a year. Take that by 5 years. That would give you an extra $15,000 to $25,000 with less stress and literally putting no more capital in your pocket. What would you do with the money? Maybe going on vacation, maybe invest, buy a car. You do a lot of things. What would it be like if you can work with a proven system to put more cash in your pocket? It's the same system that's worked for over 41 years serving 50,000 business owners. How could that change your life? What would it be like if you had somebody you can call that has your back to answer any of your questions? What would that be like? So if you answered yes to any of those questions, it's time to join CFO in a Box, where we're going to make sure you put money in your pocket. Guaranteed. We've been doing this for 40 years, serving over 50,000 clients. So there's not one business I haven't worked with. And we'll make sure we can help you take you to the next level. So this is what you get with CFO in a Box. It's a $5,200 value. This page alone is $3,200. So the first one I think is priceless, but they said I have to put a price on. So we're going to review 2 years of your tax returns. So we're going to review it to see if there was anything was missed. My average client that I review, if anybody in the room knows and's worked with me, we're saving them between $3,000 and $5,000. Okay, just the money I saved alone will almost pay for this class forever and ever. And here's an amazing myth that the IRS is not going to, that most people think that when you do an amended return after the money I'm going to save you, that the IRS, most people think you can get audited anymore. No, that's not true. It's considered just like a regular tax return, so you can start putting money in your pocket. Our next thing is we're going to give you 8 weeks of coaching where we're going to go over like what kind of corporation you have, what kind of corporation, what address you have, the good, bad, and the ugly. Every week you'll be able to we have a live class that you can come on and ask us questions about almost anything in business you want. Our next one is we're going to be a personal assessment where we're going to ask you questions and go over your business. It's like a one-on-one. You'll get 1 hour assessment that we're going to figure out how to get your business going. And before we even get started, I'm going to make sure I get all your questions answered. So here's another cool one where we're going to open up your corporation or foundation in Florida. That's what's cool about Florida is there's no state income tax, very little regulations. Here's a quick myth that I like to explain to you. The IRS doesn't care what state you're in. And if you're in a state with state income tax, all that matters is your corporate, are you paying tax to a corporate office? So if you live in California and your company is based in Florida and you're making a profit, you don't have to pay California state income tax on the business. Think of it as Walmart. Walmart's in all 50 states, but their corporate office is in Arkansas, and they only pay state tax in Arkansas. So one of the other coolest things you're going to get is you're going to get a virtual office in my office. What we're going to show you is that my office is 1800 West 68th Street, Suite 118, Hialeah, Florida. It's a real building. I pay $7,000 rent with 3 employees. So if somebody's going to go check you out and they want to check your business and work with you, they're going to see it's a real building. If you're at your house and somebody wants to check you out, you could lose the business, or you're going to have you could have a crazy person go over they're going to go over. We're going to explain what your business structure is, what an LLC is, how it helps you, difference LLC, sub S, sole proprietor, why you might want to use a corporation now. So here's what you're going to get. We're going to review your tax returns, which is really priceless. 8 weeks of coaching, personal business assessment, open up a Florida corporation, virtual office, and we're going to review your business structure. Today, it's only $14.95. The total value is $5,200. But Bill told me to give everybody a break today. It's only $14.95. Just one decision can change you forever. So stop guessing. Come in the back when we get you started. It's a tax deduction. Get somebody that can help you understand your business. I'll give you my email. We'll get your cell phone. We can get you started. The total value is $5,200, but today it's $14.95. Thank you.